Welcome to the journey, a different kind of storybook. Today's story is Happy Town. So please, make yourself comfortable and see if you see yourself or someone you love in the story. When I was a younger man, back in the disco days, there was a great dance song called Down to Love Town. The artist was going to take his body down to Love Town. Where do we take our minds? Where do we go when we're feeling low? I believe that how we answer this question can greatly impact our lives. There once was a woman who was feeling low one day. She had a lot of unanswered questions going on in her life. She wasn't sleeping well and she very seldom smiled anymore. She would go and sit in the park on her favorite bench for hours upon hours. She would watch all the parents playing with their kids and kids playing with other kids. In her eyes, they were all so happy. In her eyes, everyone was happy, except for her. As she was watching all the people around her, suddenly, an old woman sat down next to her on the bench. The young woman was so engrossed in all that was going on with everyone else that she didn't even realize that the old woman had joined her. After about 5 minutes of looking outward, she finally looked beside her and noticed that she was no longer alone. She was startled, so she jumped. The old woman told her not to be afraid, that she meant the young woman no harm. I noticed that you are all alone and I thought you might want someone to talk to. Yes, I would. But I don't know where to start. The old woman suggested that she start where she hurts the most. The young woman said, I am so unhappy. The old woman replied, that sounds like a great place to start, if you ask me. So she did. She began to talk, and she talked, and she talked, and she talked, and she talked, and she talked. She never realized just how unhappy she really was until she heard herself talk about it. She had always tried to keep it all together by keeping it all inside. Many of us do that too. If we continue to put air into a balloon, then eventually, boom. When I'm feeling low, as we all do from time to time, I go to my happy place. May I tell you where it is? Asked the old lady. Yes, please. I go down to Happy Town. Happy Town? How do you get to Happy Town? Asked the young woman. Funny you should ask, replied the old woman with a big grin on her face. She reached into the inside pocket of her shawl and pulled out a map. This is how you get there. She handed the map to the young woman, but before she let go, the old woman warned her that the map has 2 sides, and each side has its own road to Happy Town. But only one road leads to true Happy Town. The other one is fake. It only appears to be happy, and its happiness doesn't last. Choose wisely, and you will find true happiness. A happiness that will last and nurture your spirit. As the young woman looked at both sides of the map, she thought to herself how much the maps looked like a treasure map. She also noticed how on one map, the road was wide and winding, while on the other side, that map's road was straight and narrow. That's another story, and I didn't write that one. The young woman also noticed that one map also appeared to have a certain peace and calmness about it. It was the straight and narrow path, while the other map had a lot of excitement and fun about it. Fun, not happiness. Buckle up. Not knowing how this journey was going to end, the young woman found herself being drawn to the glamour and glitz of the wide road. She saw many vendor locations along the road, such as drugs, sex, booze, pornography, even food. All of these vendors make you feel good. But in a couple of my other stories, I write about how that good feeling doesn't last, and the consequences leave you worse off than when you started. The young woman chose to take the wide and winding road. She thought to herself that the vendors' pictures on that map appeared to be a whole lot more fun. She didn't heed the warnings of the old woman. She concluded that she was young enough to change paths later if the path that she chose proved to be a lie. I thought the same thing too, but I made my original decision. How about you? May I remind you that we're not bad people just because we made a bad decision. I believe it's in our DNA, and the good book backs that up concerning the fall of Adam and Eve. Now don't use this as an excuse to be foolish, because just as much as I believe that sin is in our DNA, I also believe in the consequences of our sins. Just a thought. Back to the young woman. As she was traveling down the wide path and getting closer to the town outlined on that map, she noticed as she got closer to the town that the signs leading up to the town were beginning to change. By the time that she reached the town, she noticed the town was now named Fun Town. Fun Town? She exclaimed. Well, all right. She rushed in and made the same mistake that so many of us have. She only looked at the surface, only what was in front of her. This might only be my interpretation, but I believe that fun is temporal, while happiness, on the other hand, is eternal. Plus, this is my story. Suddenly, all of those vendors of fun were turning on her. They were costing her her joy, her finances, her health, and her happiness. What really disturbs me about this journey is that even when we realize what those vendors are selling and what they are doing to us, we are still drawn to keep revisiting them based on their illusion. The illusion of fun. Fun is like the frosting to me. It covers the type of cake you're about to eat. After many wasted years of insanity trying to have fun, she finally had enough. The long-term negative consequences outweighed the short-term fun. She finally made the decision to be happy. She spent several years repairing the damage that she had done, and it was painful at times. However, she was determined. The lies no longer carried any weight. She realized that the only way to achieve real happiness was to travel on the other path. The path where happiness is true. I hope you have found this story insightful and entertaining. It is also my hope that it has helped us all to realize the difference between short-term fun and lasting happiness. I hope to see each one of you one day in Happy Town. Never give up. Love and peace. Brother Charles.